Hi there, my name is Graham. In Second Life, I'm known as Hrdtop75 Deluxe. I volunteer at the Virtual Railway Consortium. The Virtual Railway Consortium consists of members and groups that enjoy the railways around Second Life. They provide free open source scripts and builds for the residents to enjoy. In this series, I'm going to make a mesh locomotive from scratch using free software found on the net and open source scripts from the Virtual Railway Consortium. The reason why I'm making this series is to show you how it can be easy to make something from scratch and prevent DMCA takedowns. DMCA being Digital Millennium Copyright. But most importantly, help out newcomers to the railroads in Second Life. Join me live once a week, Mondays 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, or Sunday 2400 SLT. The video will also be available for viewing later as well. But for now, let's get on with the build. Okay, we're into episode 5. Episode 5 of my guide to mesh modeling. And for starters, I'm once again going to apologise for any sound that comes from beyond this room. Next door neighbour's having a hissy fit once again. Also, another thing is we have now got a change of time, which is something I have to fix up. The time was 2400 SLT with Australian Eastern Standard Time now with the daylight savings. It is now 2300 or 11 PM. So I've got to go around and fix up all my signs and stuff like that and get them ready. So that's going to be the thing now. You can also find me on the socials to find out what's going on, if it's going to happen or if it's not. I'll show you the socials now. So that's basically where I'm going to be posting, you know, if I'm going to be running late or if I'm going to be not streaming at all. Other news, a local railway scripter come up to me and was having a chat, and we were talking about something that, geez, I think the railroaders in Second Life has been talking about since, maybe 2014, 2013, something like that. And that is to have a boat as such, a scripted boat that works, and then you can actually dock a locomotive on top of it, and it actually follows over sim crossings to get to the next continent without having to re-res and all that. And I've seen the first working version of that. I thought it worked really well, but apparently it needs improvement. But I'm super excited about that, and that's definitely, if I can get the time to do it, I'm going to live stream that because it is amazing. It's something that I've never seen. So he also does locomotive scripting as well. I don't know if he's too keen on letting his products loose at the moment, but I think with a little bit of confidence he'll be fine. What else have we got? As for the Virtual Railway Consortium, there's also been talks with the Zany Zen Railway, and we've been having a chat to try and get some product to put down in Tulip Tree so that people might have an interest in a narrow gauge railway. Obviously there's more gauges than just a Second Life railway getting around. I believe that there was, in real life, the narrow gauge, a standard gauge, and a broad gauge. And I'm sure there's more and more out there as well, with cog gearing and things like that. But the Second Life Railway usually runs on standard gauge, which is 4 feet 8 3/4, or I think something like that. I should really figure it out in millimeters because that's usually the best way to measure things. What do we got? That's hopefully going to be something that I'll be able to post out soon. Also, probably even have a meeting about it too. That'd be good. I'll keep you posted in the Virtual Railway Consortium group. But for now, we've got a locomotive to build, and I've found some problems as well. So let's get over there into Blender. That's what I need there. Okay, so when we finished the last episode, I had a quick look over the model and realised there's a few things I've got to make changes with and blah blah blah. But I also noticed a big problem, and it's something that I didn't pick up in the beginning. So I'll go and put my mouse on that screen. A deselect. Oh, looks like I don't have Karnak on at the moment either. I've forgotten to get that. Okay, you can probably see. I'll just highlight a couple of these vents. There we go. There's a problem right there. So, how do I describe this? I might have to go to a drawing pad. Let's do a drawing pad. Gotta love the old diagram I've drawn before. It's always good value. Okay, we need more paper. More paper. Okay. How are we going there? That's good. Get myself a texter. Oh, cool. This is going to help out big time. So, when I've just showed you the vent, and obviously it's round, and you've seen the edges and faces. Okay, that's just a rough drawing, okay? So if I go back into Blender to show you what I'm actually talking about, you'll actually see how many faces I've got there. And there's quite a fair few. The problem being, when we upload this model into Second Life, it's actually going to multiply them faces. We usually go into triangulation when we go into Second Life, so I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go, but I'm going to estimate that if I go back into the drawing can, I'm estimating that when I come into Second Life, it's going to triangulate things. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I shouldn't change that. I think we better do a count first. Actually, no, I'm just going to leave that because I don't think it's going to happen. I was kind of expecting a triangulation. So if I was to take something into Second Life that's... Maybe I was thinking of something else at the time. So let's say this cube down here, which you might be able to see there. If I upload that cube into Second Life, being one face, the blue dot being the aqua line that comes out of the face, usually it's going to triangulate that. It doesn't like cubes, it doesn't like squares, so it'll actually put a second face on there, just like that. So I'm hoping, now that I look at that vent, I think it might not triangulate that part. It'd be interesting to see if it does, and we will be able to see that within Second Life by right-click and highlighting. I might be able to show you in Second Life, actually. I should still have my model out there that you can all see. Okay. So the majority of the triangulation should be in the nose of this build. So if I right click and edit, zoom in a bit, it might actually show the triangulation. And no, it doesn't. It doesn't want to show you. Okay. It wants to be crazy. It doesn't want to show. Anyway. Oh, there you go. Right there on the front there, I just seen a bit of triangulation. I don't even have my mouse on. So I'm going to hold that still. Go into my NDI tools and get my mouse pointer. Okay. You can see the mouse there. You can see the triangulation. If I actually opened up the model right now, you'll see that it's a proper cube. But when we convert everything into Second Life, it'll actually triangulate, which is not really good in a sense because it doubles up your faces and puts more weight on the object. So I can see that we're going to have a lot of problems with our Blender model. Probably not that fan, but maybe the rest of this up here. There is a tool to triangulate before you take it into Second Life. I've never used it. Maybe I should. But anyway. I was going to remove all the faces and then actually drag the faces across the screen sideways to try and reduce the amount of faces. But now that I'm looking at it, it's already a triangle. It might not triangulate when uploading into Second Life. So I was a little bit stressed out about that, but I think we'll get away with it. The other thing, looking into the windows now, haven't really put much thought into how I'm going to go about cutting them in, but I have actually seen something that is an issue, and I'm going to have to make a copy of the model and then do a bit of work with it. So if I show you the model here, I've cut the door out. And everything's there. Looking pretty good. Just check what the hell's going on here. What the hell? YouTube, it's always delayed. It just told me that it's delayed. It just told me that I'm live now. We're only 16 minutes into it, but it tells me I'm only live now. Okay, so the window here, I've been talking about the driver windows, and now I thought it was going to be simple, as in to cut it all in one hit, left hand side all the way through front and rear of the cab, but it turns out there's actually a couple of different sizes of the windows. So if we go to Google, pick this picture here maybe. Okay, so old matey's here, he's got a picture of a 48, and that's your driver's door. Oh, sorry, your guard's door right there. So that's not a position that the driver actually drives from. However, if we go and pick a picture of the actual driver's window, you'll see that the window's larger. So we've got two different kinds of windows, which is a problem. So it looks like we're going to be maybe copying one side of the window and stretching it out onto the other side and turn that into a different window. But even if I go to my drawing cam and show you the model, you'll actually see the difference. So go into Blender, go into the drawing cam, I'm hoping the lighting's good. I don't think it's going to work for us, but we'll give it a go. So you should be able to see that the driver's window there is actually larger than the window on this side. It's actually a lot different. So I had no idea about that, and it might even show up in our drawing diagrams, actually, our lineup models. So go to view. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, front. There we go. Go to wireframe mode. Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? Yeah, you can see one window is actually larger than the other. The length, height and width is actually different, which I never even knew. So it only stood out to me just the other day when I was looking at the model. So that's something we'll factor in later. It's not a major thing. I honestly thought everything was square on this locomotive and everything was going to be easy, but obviously not. Now, I don't have any form of being able to make my own window, as in something to guide me from. So I'm just going to go off pictures. I'm going to make it myself, which is, it's not something to be afraid of. Just get out there and give her a go. Everything will be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import an object. Maybe add a circle, maybe? No. Yeah, bugger it. Just add a circle. And we'll grab that. Bring it forward on the y-axis. Okay, why is nothing working for me? Are we in edit mode? Yes. That's all selected, yes. Grab Y. Okay. Well, because maybe that. Maybe. I don't know. Alt. There we go. Grab Y. Okay. Whatever. Go into side mode, which I think was it Control 3? There you go. And I'm going to rotate that on the x-axis. I'm going to try and get it as straight as possible too. That looks pretty good. Oh, still out. That's a lot better. Okay. Now that should be off to the side. It's obviously my front view is different. So now I'm going to have to go and stretch a few things, make it a little bit squarer, go from there. So I'm going to maybe go I'm going to grab that one, that one, that one, and that one. Maybe scale them a little bit to give them a flatter edge. Here we go. Then I'm thinking is not going to work with this, I don't think. Okay. We'll go grab it on the X. Try and get that to be a straight line on the left hand side, which it's not. Grab X. This is just a little bit out there. You don't usually have to go this tricky, but whoops. Grab X. Grab on the Z axis. And I'll grab it on the X. Okay. So that window might be half decent. Now, I don't really want to do that the same to all of things, so we're going to go A to deselect. And we might just delete some normals. Sorry, some verts. Not that one. I'm going to delete verts. Okay, so now we're flat. What I will do is border select, B for border select, highlight that, copy, actually I should have done it all on one side. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's go that one, delete verts, B to border select, I'm going to duplicate, oh geez, I can't remember where, here we go, duplicate, Shift D, bring it down, and it didn't do what I wanted it to do. We got Control Z, Shift D on the Z. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go back even further. Yeah. Let me go that. Now we'll duplicate that. Shift D. Oops. Grab it on Z so it's still in live. Shift D on Z. Oh, come on. Are you serious? What's going on here? Shift D. Grab it on Z. How hard is it? Maybe my fat fingers weren't working on the keyboard properly. Alright. Now we're going to rotate that on the Y axis. R, Y. And we're just going to try our best to line it up. That looks reasonably good. Not really. Rotate on the Y. Man, okay. If you are struggling to line things up as well, you can move your mouse further away. You see I'm struggling with this one. We're gonna have to dodgy this. Grab it on Z, move it down to where you want it. That one and that one we can delete. Delete verts. That should have deleted the edge as well. Should have. We're going to go that one and that one, and we're going to go merge at the first. And that straighten it out by the looks of it. That's good. That's what I wanted. Okay, so that's the first. That's the last. Merge at last. And that straightened it out pretty good too. Okay. Now what we're going to do, I'm quickly border select that. Yeah, actually it looks pretty flat too. Border select. We're still in vert mode, yes. Delete verts. And delete that vert too. Okay. So I've left a dot down here. I don't think we really need that, but I'm gonna I'm gonna leave it there, just for triangulation and all that rubbish. Now what we're gonna do is border select, B for border select. I'm gonna grab that, Shift D to duplicate, and I'm gonna grab it on the X axis. There you go. Rotation. You can go over here to the right hand side as well and rotate on the what are we going to rotate on the Y? But you see everything changes because I haven't named it yet. So we'll grab that one, we'll just go rotate on the Y. Just line it up. That looks pretty good. Now I still want that dot as well. So I'm going to go second lot to find out what's going on. Oh, must be party night in Australia. So grab on the x-axis, and now we've got a reasonable window. I'm going to go grab that vert, merge it to the last, grab that vert and merge it to the last. The last one was the squarest one that we built, and it was quite nice, so we're going to run with that. I'm going to grab the whole thing now, B to border select, and I'm going to scale it only on one axis. I don't know if, now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have done that. We'll give it a go and see what it looks like. So we've grabbed it all, scale on the X. Yeah, see how it's moved the corners? I don't like that. I want the corner still there. So what we'll do, A, deselect everything. Actually, we'll go A, select everything. We've done a lot of clowning around. We'll go remove doubles. 0 removed. Okay, very good. That's what I like. Now we're going to go B to border select, grab it on the x-axis. That looks pretty good. A B to border select, grab it on the x-axis. Make it look reasonably similar. Actually, I'm thinking about going further in. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Grab it on the X. Let's go and have a look at a proper window. Go to Google. See, I think my corners are a little bit too round now. Yeah, they are. They're too round. So we go Control Z to undo, Control Z to undo, Control Z to undo. There we go. Let's go to B to border select, and we go scale, just to bring it down to a proper size that we're after. Might even line this up. Could be a little bit interesting. Yeah, bugger it. Let's do it. Let's line it up. Control 3 for my side view. This is obviously all going to be different if you're following along at home. Grab on the Y, green for Y. Grab on the Z. And that's still way out. Go to 1 for front mode. Grab on the X. I'm going to scale that down. Okay. If you say so. Let's go into side view again. Control 3. Gotta find out where we are as well. We're reasonably lined up. Top view. Top. There you go. Grab it on the y-axis. Grab it on, go back to ortho. Yeah, it looks half decent. Okay. Front view. And the front window's already lined up, I guess. Well, it kind of looks as if it has. But we need to scale it. Let's go scale it larger. Because you can see the bottom of the window there. And we'll go grab on the z-axis. So side to side it meets up. Let's go A. We'll go B to border select. Nothing's in my way, which is great. Grab on Z. Oh, sorry, not Z, you idiot. Grab on the X. Okay. The window is far too curved in the corners. I might grab that whole section actually. I'll move it out, make some more modifications. Yeah. Grab on the X. Okay. Let's go. All the verts have started moving around on us. B to border select. Grab it on the X. Okay. And then we'll scale that on the X. Then we'll scale that on the Z. Nope, no, we're not going to do that. It should have worked, but it didn't. Doesn't matter. We'll go to A, we'll go to B to border select. Scale on the X. I'm not 100% sure how accurate this is going to be, but this is just what we're going to do. A, B to border select, scale on Z. It's kind of made a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Probably not going to be perfect to the model, but let's keep going. Scale, Z. Yeah, that looks a bit better. That's better. B to border select. Scale Z. Looks kind of half decent. I think that'll do the job. B to border select. No one's really going to know, but anyway. Grab on the X, move it into position. We'll scale it on Z. It's pretty good. It's a half decent looking window. Now we need to move that over onto the cab side. So we'll grab that on the X. So that's not looking right. In my eyes, that doesn't look right. Something's not right. Okay. Bottom of the window lines up with. Okay. So we're going to go scale Z. Scale X. Grab Z. And everything's looking good. Because it's half of that width. Probably a little bit greater, but I don't think people are going to know. So, basically the driver window, from what I've seen in the model and pictures, the bottom of this window lines up with the bottom of this window, but it's also almost half of that cube there to the roof. So I think we're all right. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to run with. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is going. I've got to make sure that I've got everything lined up first. So, go into side view, Control 3, I think. Yeah. Go into wireframe mode. Oh, jeez, that's made it a lot trickier for us, hasn't it? That's made it so tricky. Go into top view mode. I think it's 7 from. There you go. How good's that? Wow. Dun dun. Why did I pay somebody? Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks for the sale. Hope you enjoy what you've purchased. Okay, so we're going to go back to that window when he cut that in. Wow. Thanks, Eve. We're going to cut this into there. It looks as if it's going to line up pretty well. I guess I'm worried that I'm going to have like a texture problem. But at the same time, I think we should just run with it and fix it later. Which I don't think it's going to need fixing, but everything should be right. If it is a problem, I'll just smooth it. Or smooth it out, make it look as if it's half decent, I guess. Okay, I might even grab the window. I don't know, I don't really want to do that. Do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? This is always a challenge. Okay, I'm going to go Shift. What am I, invert mode? Yes. That. I might actually get rid of. No, not that one. Go Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Nope, it's not going to work for me. I'm going to go up. Okay, so what I wanted to do is grab that one, yeah, and that one. Why didn't that work the first time? Seriously. Okay, I'm going to Eisenhausen. No, I'm going to do it a different way. Okay, I'm going to delete that face and that face. Faces. Pray to God that it didn't delete the other faces. No, we're good. We're going to go back into vert mode. Sorry, vert mode. Do that one. Go extrude X. And I want to merge it with that one. Merge at last. A. Grab that one. Extrude X. Merge at last. Okay. That's looking good. That's looking good. So now we'll fill this bottom section back in. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. So we've now got 4 up the top, 1 on the sides. Alt F. And that worked out how I was hoping. That was good. Go in now to back into vert mode. We're going to go into Shizer. Okay, to there, to there. Yes, no, is that right? I'm hoping that's right. And then we're going to go Alt. Okay. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. Okay, so we're going to go faces, delete that face. We're going to go to the verts and go that one. We're going to go extrude on the X, grab on Z. You don't really have to, but anyway. Go up there, merge at last, A. Go to edge mode. I didn't grab them all. Alt. Nope, that didn't do it either. Alt. Nope. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be great fun. Fun for the whole family. We're going to go Alt F. It doesn't want to fill. We're going to have to do that manually. What a bummer. What a bummer. Okay, edge, 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 edge. One more edge there. We're going to grab that one too. Extrude on the X. They're all facing the wrong way. As they do, go into vert mode, grab that vert, merge at last. A. We're going to go into face mode, select, 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 and select. And WF to flip verts. Everything's looking good. Next, we're going to go with this one. So we'll select edges, extrude Z, and it's back to the front as well. A, vert, merge last, A, merge last, A, select the face, W and F to flip, and we're good. Unfortunately, that's going to be the same for up the top and side here, and yeah. So we'll chuck them in. Everything will be alright. So far, when you look at the lines, see if I can select these faces. We'll zoom in on them. If you've got very flat verts like that, it means you're going to have a very flat section. Like the fingers are all pretty much in unison, so we should have a nice flat corner there. Should. I'm going to go back into edges. Select some more edges. Okay, I don't want that edge. Actually, we could do that. We go extrude X. I said extrude. Extrude X. Keyboard's having a bit of a fit. Okay, A. We're going to go into verts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Merge at last. A, that one to that one at last. A. Make sure to grab them faces. And W, F to flip. That actually turned out pretty well as well. Oh, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit surprised. Just a little bit surprised. And when you go into, I just press tab on the keyboard and it looks pretty smooth. That does look pretty smooth. You can see how I'm going to have problems on the tops. You see how the shade is different. It's not a smooth shading texture. Like say through here, that's nice and smooth. But you come up to here, we're going to have problems up there. And I don't exactly want to look into changing that either. So let's get this window done. Fingers crossed. Tab to get back out of that. Fingers crossed we can actually start to face. How do you say? Start marking some seams today. That's my goal. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm hoping these windows work out for me. Fingers crossed. I'm going to just quickly try something. I don't know if it's going to work. It probably won't, but... Okay, everything's looking good there. Now, let's give it a go. Nope. Nope. Oh man, I'm going to select that again. Alt. No. Nah, it doesn't like it. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll give it a go. Give it a shot. It'll probably say no faces filled. Alt F. Oh, it worked. It actually worked. Ho ho! Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. That's sensational. That is sensational. Now, I'm going to cheat. Just quickly go into tab, make sure. So that's smooth as butter. I didn't think that was going to work. I really didn't think that was going to work. Oh. I just seen a problem there. Yeah, you can see how the faces are a little bit different through here. It's only slight. Just the tiniest of problems, but we can work on that later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to select all these faces, A, face select, yeah, I'm hoping it might be close. And I did do everything, scaled it properly, so it should work. Everything should be even on all sides. Yep. Okay. Now I'm going to go to duplicate, which was Shift D. Shift D. Drag it over. Probably no. Control Z. Shift D on the X-axis. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, we're gonna now, we need to flip that around. Or actually, we're gonna do something even funnier. We are gonna flip the normals. WF to flip normals. Now I don't have to rotate anything. And I'm gonna try my best to drag that into position on this window here. So we'll go back into 3, I think it is. Yeah, there you go. No, it's not. Control 3. Now I can't see anything. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take that to the back of the locomotive. Grab on the y-axis. Okay. I'm going to go view upwards. Come on. My mouse cable. There we go. Into solid mode. Just so I can get an idea of what's going on. Grab it on the X, no, Y, X, yeah, X. Blah. Okay, that's looking good. It's a little bit out, but it's nothing to really super stress out over. It is when it disappears. Grab it on the Y. Okay, that should be lined up. This might be the ugly one by the looks of this. Everything's looking good there. Everything's looking good. Okay. Go back into solid mode. I think it's lined up pretty well. It'll do the job anyway. And we're going to go to A. We're going to select the faces we want to get rid of. Bang, bang, bang. And hopefully that one. Yep, that looks good. Delete faces. Now we just got to pick the verts. Uh-oh. One face didn't copy across. So we'll go vert, extrude Z, down, select the other vert. No, we won't do that. Control Z. A. We'll go and have a beer is what we'll do. Extrude on the X. Go into vert mode and we'll select the other. Yep. Merge at last. Yep, that's fixed it. There we go. And you can see we've got a bit of a problem. Obviously that side vent's in the way. We can't see past that. We're going to go back into face mode. Try and select all the faces again. Just to line us up. Just because you know, I want it to be a little bit better than this. There we go. I just want it to line up just that little bit cleaner. Okay. Let's go back to here. I'm going to grab that on the X-axis. Bring that across. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And the next part is the part where we might have some slight problems. In which case I do have a little dodgy bit of work that we can work around. I might have to go into wireframe for this. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. There's so many wireframes, so many verts now that this is going to get confusing. Okay, there we go. Merge it first. Go back in just to check that because I'm worried of... No, that's fine. Yep. We are good. Then what we'll do, we'll run all the way down one side. Just to make sure. Oh, perfect. Merge at last. That's first. Merge at first. This will be an interesting one right here. At first. No. Oh, geez, I can't remember. Merge at last. Merge at last. So basically now we just got to go up this side. Just spin it around a little bit. This is going to be yeah, we're going to need to do a little bit of work on this to clean it up. I can see it's going to be one of them problem things. Merge at last. Merge at last. Merge at last. And we should be good. We should be good. Once again, A, to select all, check to see if there's more doubles, remove doubles, and there's 42 verts, invisible verts that I just deleted. So there was a problem somewhere. Maybe I copied something and didn't move it and didn't realize that, but I've obviously done something. So always go select all, remove doubles or duplicate verts, and check out the top, and it'll always say X amount of verts removed. So when you're doing like what we just did then, you're guaranteed to do something wrong at least. So we're pretty good there. Now, what time we got? 6. I might cut the holes in the inner part of the cab by myself. You obviously know what we're going to do. It's going to be the exact same thing. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to drag it backwards, line it up with the other face, merge it with all the other verts, delete the old faces, and everything should be fine. So that'll probably take me maybe a couple of hours later on tonight. Do that, make sure I'm checking over all the models, smooth things out. But for now, what I really want to get into, which I'm hoping is going to work for us. Maybe that's a better view. You'll be able to see everything now. I'm going to tab again just to have a look at them faces. What we do need, we need another light. Go into object mode. If I can find our light, I can't see the light. Cube 2 camera lamp. Where's the lamp? We don't even have a lamp. Where is it? That's strange. Okay. Now, things that you can add, and they're not going to, how do you say, be in your model, is lamps and cameras. So if I go to sun, I just brought in a sun object there. Actually, I should just delete that. Delete that. We'll bring in a lamp. Add a lamp. It doesn't give me the option. A spot lamp? A spot lamp? Yes, no. A pointed lamp. There we go. Okay, let's grab that. That's upside down too. So grab it on the Y axis, because I really want to have a look at it on the X axis. I'm going to point that in the right direction. I don't even know where the bloody thing is. Control 3. Grab Z. Go into texture mode as well. That might. There we go. That'll show up where it is. Grab it on the X axis. That's just pointing down. Grab it on the Z axis. Try and grab a whole heap of views. What I want to do is check these faces. And as I was saying, we're going to have a little bit of problems with the textured faces up the top here. So we've got we're going to face mode. Select that. Edit mode. Face mode. We'll just select these faces and try and smooth them. Faces. And it hasn't made any difference. So we're going to have some problems. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. However, them faces there, they look half decent, so we should be alright. Going to object mode. Now that we've got a sun up there, and we can actually see things a little bit clearer. Grab that on the X axis. Grab it on the Y, Z, E. object mode, grab that one. On the Z axis. Okay, move it around, grab Y, grab X, and rotate it. The sun's not moving for me. Object mode into texture mode, rotate. Oh, she's not moving. No, we'll just add more to it later. But that looks half decent over there. Actually just grab that, duplicate it, Shift D for the lamp, and we'll just move it over here. It's a bit far away. There we go. Just wanted to have a look back here, make sure everything's good. Everything's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I can see a little bit of a problem up the top there. Right here. Oop, I've also forgotten to do some faces. So we go face mode, select that, go into edit mode, go into solid, just so we can see what we're doing, and to face mode, alt, right click, we'll go to smooth faces, smooth edges, smooth verts. Go into alt, and hopefully that'll select everything correctly. Yep. Smooth faces, smooth edges, and verts. Go back into texture mode, and you can see it's a lot smoother now. Go on to tab. She's all smoothed out, everything's nice. Okay, next up. Let's start cutting. Once again, I'll just cut through everything myself. Sorry, I'll finish off them windows myself just so that I don't bore people. It can be tedious sometimes, but edit mode. Okay. Now sometimes you can get everything lined up really nicely. We're going to go to edge mode down the bottom there, edge selected. I go to alt, and I've selected the whole window. We go into our shading UVs. Now there's the unwrap, mark seam, and clear seam. We want to mark the seam. We've just told the model that is the edge of the faces, and that's just how it's going to be. Now I also want this whole face here flat. I'm going to go to there. Have I selected everything? There we go. Something that you've always got to go through and do. Make sure you've checked everything. I'm just going to quickly go through and select all these edges that I want. I'm just holding down shift and scrolling down with the mouse. Okay. Once again, mark seam. So now, if I went to mesh unwrap, it'll actually put that into a perfect flat face, but the rest of the model will be absolutely garbage. So We need to start looking at the model as well and see where, sorry, the actual model in real life, to find out where our seams are going to be from now on. And it can get pretty crazy. And I've already found my first mistake. But I think I might leave it. Yeah, definitely. There's a piece across the window here, that one there. That is actually the seam or the marker to indicate where the colour change is from top to bottom. And that runs all the way around the model as well. So what we're going to do is grab that. We'll actually go and have a look at some pictures. Yeah, it is. Yep. So I do want to keep that clean line as well. Yep. We're going to run with that. Back to Blender. We're going to mark off the top of the roof now. So I will actually mark that seam. Come all the way around the back here. And that one. So basically what we're going to do now is separate where the colours are usually on the model. Oop. Just shift right click to get rid of that. Oh, done it again. Bang across the top, across the bottom, sorry. Back side of the model. Okay, and it was that line, wasn't it? It'll be just my luck. I'll go and mark the whole thing. I'll get it wrong. Here we go. There we go. So I'm just going through once again. Up and over into the front. Oops. Go through selecting all the edges because I know that they are going to be the top color of what I want to do. Yep, and we'll just go to mark seam. A. Okay. Now we need to start looking at pieces that are not flat. Pieces that how do you say? Oh, actually I've forgotten to do something too. What a bugger. I forgot to put the rear fan on. Or do I fudge it and just turn it into a picture? Like image it on the side. Let's go and have a look at Google. I'm thinking maybe picture it. Here we go, there's a picture that you can see it. There's a side vent there. Geez, I don't know if I should do that or not. Or just cut it out. Not sure what to do now. Gonna find another side view picture. This is going to be pretty hard to do too. There's going to be railings over the front of it all the time. Sometimes you can just texture it and get away with it, but I don't think it's going to work this time. Man, get back into Blender. Let's go to that color, Control 3. Come on, back in there, Control 3. Go into wireframe mode. Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty. Far out. Man. We've already got a lot of verts on there already, so I don't really want to go adding more. But however, we could use that Control 3 for scripting. Maybe we could make sounds come from it or something like that. Far out. I might add them later on. I'll do that in my own time. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, well, we need to separate the cubes here and try and keep, you can see if I went to separate this, it would just be a face, one face by itself. This is going to be two faces, so we need to go separate the face by itself. Yeah, gonna have to do that. Then we go mark seam, a mark seam, a go over here to the door, we'll mark that up as well. That's going to be pretty dodgy when you look at that. I might take that off so that that unwraps as part of the front here. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. And then we'll just go up and over the top just to separate that. Because that won't unwrap nice and smooth. Here we go, and mark seam. A to deselect. Mark the seam again on your window. Do it on the inside as well, because I'm pretty sure that the cab color is going to be different in a few of the different models. Some of them are aqua and some of them were all kinds of funky colors, and I think the South Australian Railway uses, I think it's the 830 model. Mark the seam, which is exactly the same as what we're building here, and I think they used a different interior cab as well. So let's mark a few seams. At the end of the day, what we're doing, we need to have a nice flat, like a canvas to paint on. I guess that's probably the way to explain it. mark seam A. Once again, I'll go over the top here. And we'll choose just down here. Okay, mark seam. Mark the seam there. So why didn't I add that to this face? I probably could have, I probably should have. However, when you look at some of these models, they're not, the colours don't flow all the way around properly. I guess I really should have, for the bicentennial colour, I should have made it all one piece. But what I want to do is have detail in some spots and not enough detail in other spots when it comes to my UV map. Obviously I don't need super great detail around the faces of the cab there. I'm not going to need super great detail over the roof. However, on the sides, Control 3, that's where all the art and doors are. Going to wireframe mode, you can see all the doors on the side, vents. I'm actually going to cut them in on an image, and then I'm going to make a how do you say? I'm going to make a bump map to make them doors look as if they're bulging out a little bit, just to give it that little bit of breakaway from the model. You probably see that if I go into Second Life. You'll see that here on the front. I just did a quick dodgy one on the front of this one here, and you can see how that there looks as if it's bulging out. It just visually looks as if it is, but technically it's not. So if I go into preferences and change my graphics down low, you'll see it disappear soon. There, see there's, it's not bulging at all. Absolutely flat as a tack. But when you up your graphics, it looks as if it's popping out, and that's due to, go OK on there, edit, textures, that's your bump map. I don't know if that'll show up high, no it won't. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a bump map and put that onto that face. So when I go back into Blender, I'm going to go Control 3 to get back into the side. I want all these panels, like the edges, the door handles, I want them to pop out of the model when you're in a really good graphics mode. But when you're in just average mode, it's just going to be nice and flat, you know, nothing special. So I'm not super stressed about it. But that's going to be something we are going to look into. Once again, just doing more seams. I'm going to mark them out properly. Oops, not that one. Get out of there. We'll only add that one to there just because there's not enough there to actually create its own platform, I think is what they call it from memory. So we'll mark that seam. We'll also add this part of the door. We're going to add that to the main body. Oops. Just because I don't feel there's enough there to actually create its own. I'm pretty sure it's called a platform. We're going to find out soon enough anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to go straight down the guts here. Right there. So then we go mark seam. A. Okay. Now, that should come out flat, apart from this here, the sides of these vents, which I'm thinking I might just go and put a little bit there, just so that it kind of collapses in on itself. I might even have to manually make it collapse. I just don't want it floating around everywhere, and if I don't get it right, I just have to do it again. It's not that hard. So I'll mark the seam A. It should fold in like an envelope. That's how I'm thinking anyway. Whoops, what have you done? There we go. It does get pretty hard to start marking seams when you get a lot of, oops, we don't have a great deal of room to work with anymore. There we go, mark the seam. Looks good. Okay, let's go up here. I'm just randomly doing this, so I'm not doing it 100% perfectly. I usually go around the sides and then separate top to bottom and then go around and separate everything individually, but I don't know, I'm kind of just rushing it just a little bit because we've still got a lot more 3D modelling to do to finish this off. Still got bogies to go. Hopefully that'll envelope out as well on me. Bogies and the under chassis. I've already got seats made. We can use some prims as controllers. Got a few things we have to do. Oh, especially the front and rear bumpers on these things, or the buffers, sorry. They're a bit painful. But that should only be one episode, I reckon. If I can get myself a good image, everything should be good. Move around. Okay, mark that seam. I'm also going to grab this here. I'm going to go Alt. Oh, what's that? Why is it? Oh, okay. I'm going to go Alt. Hopefully that's going to grab every single edge all the way around. And it has. I'm going to mark that seam. Now, being a round object, it's not going to, how do we say, it's not going to come out properly when we want to lay it flat on paper. So we're going to grab a point where no one's going to view. We're going to go, if you're in the model and you're actually driving it, we're going to go, probably not see that fan, maybe, well, fingers crossed that we don't anyway. I'm going to go grab that one, that one. Might look a little bit ugly when you see it on paper, but it can all be fixed. So that then is going to flatten that out just by marking it like that. Mark the seam, and that should be it. Vents all the way across there, yep. Vents and doors there. Oop. Backside here and the backside door as well. So we'll go separate this door. Come on, get inside the... There it is. I need to really do a bit of work on my cleaning up my desk. I keep grabbing my mouse and the other mouse to the other computer instead. Okay, tops, bottoms. Did I get the top as well? Maybe I should separate that. Nah, we'll leave it. We just got to remember that we've done it that way. So we'll mark that soon. Once again, down the guts. And mark the seam. Up and over the top, because that's definitely not going to flatten out with the roof. It won't work at all. So we'll separate that. Now, it does not need a great deal of detail, so I will end up scaling it down on my UV map. Mark the seam. Everything over the roof except for that front vent looks as if it's... Just quickly mark them out. It doesn't have to be done because it should flatten out anyway, but here we go. There as well. Mark the same. Zoom into here. So as you can see, like 3D modeling is fun. It can be quite tedious as well. I'm using Shift Alt now to highlight that window as well in the one hit, as well as highlighting the other ones there as well. Mark the seam. So if I go Shift to mark a seam there, but I want to say select a window, Alt right, I then only select the window. I don't actually select that part, but if you hold Shift you can select multiple things. So once again, vents, oops. Everything's looking good. Go across the front here. Oops. That should be alright to mark that. There is a part that I think I've missed too. Yep, I have. Right there. And if you miss that, mark the seam. That'll actually drag the inner door into the one flat map as well. So you got to make sure you got everything selected. There is ways of sending this model out into another program to get it to UV unwrap itself. A lot of people do that in Second Life. I don't, because I know I want areas of the model to be more detailed than others. Mark that seam. Like for instance, when I'm UV modeling, if this face here, we'll just mark that seam quickly. If I went into a program and changed that face there and unwrapped it, let the computer unwrap it by itself, that face there could be the same as this whole entire section here, same size, and you've only got a small area to work on with your UV map, which is I think it's 1028 by 1028 these days. I'll have to look into that later. But I don't. There's some parts of this model I don't want to be super large. Like for instance, you wouldn't want the bottom of the chassis to be the main focal point in your UV map, because no one's going to see it. So what's the point in doing it? Go there. Make sure that opens out flat for us. Oops, not that one. You've done yourself a mischief. Maybe I'll grab that one as well. Mark seam. Okay, that's the roof pretty much done. You would unwrap the roof and everything would be pretty good. The side there is done as well. I also like to mark off, how am I going to describe this? Let's go to Google and I'll show you. You've seen that picture before on a different thing. You can see how the sides and the roof is the same color on that. If we go to a different one, let's say something like a candy color, or here we go, here's a good example. There you go. There's another tone of colour there. So you got the sides, roof, and then the top as well. That's obviously a little bit overkill, and that's the South Australian Railway one, another South Australian one. But you can see where the line comes across. Oh jeez, that's a big image and it's going to load too. Here we go. Maybe I can see that. No, mate. There you go. So you can see the top of the model there. I've marked that seam and lined it up across. So that should turn out alright. I've done that all the way across the top of the model. And that's going to also work with, well, there's a candy version. That's one version I really want to do. 4836, that's got a silver top on it. And that's, well, the line's a little bit out on that one, but I think they've stuffed that model up, to tell you the truth. Go back there. The candy version's got a different roof, there you go. But you can see how it's kind of come down over the side. And that's what I want to... I want the colour separation there. That's the reason behind me marking the seam there. And here you go here. You can see where the silver is separated from the 3 colour. That's the reason why I've marked the seam down there. But everything's looking good. Still got a lot to go on this model. Back into Blender. Okay, we've done the back end. Back top fascia. The vents already been done. Top vents to roof. Side vents. I thought there was another vent there on the side. They're the drawn on ones because they're exactly flush with the unit. Oh, here we go. More to go here. And you can see there, you can see where the colour separation is going to be. I'm going to separate the roof at that point, not up here, but at that point, just for colour separation. Mark the seam for what I just selected. And I'll have to go in and mark all the seams as well for the inside of the cab. Obviously I've still got to cut the windows into the cab. So I'll do that in my spare time, and in the next episode we're gonna UV unwrap this. We're gonna start moving things around, making it look flat on paper, and our top section should be pretty complete. There's obviously things that we're missing. If I go into Control 3, horns, the select all and delete on the number pad to center yourself. If you look on the model there, there's a lot of things missing. I'm going to put the lights on separately. The navigation lights I'm going to go separately as well. I'm also planning this chimney to be separate, because I'm going to actually put the engineer display onto that. The horns, I might think of something. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. I don't think they're going to be visible from a distance anyway, being mesh. I'll keep in mind that if you can figure out what that pipe is on the front, once again, send me a message or comment on one of the videos. If you can figure out what that pipe is, I already know what it is. First person that gets it right, I'll give them a copy of the model for free. It should be a good little competition anyway. So then we're going to get the top end done. We'll get the chassis done after that. Bogies. I've already got the wheels done. And then we'll chuck a fuel tank in there for the Mark 1, and I've already got the couplers done. Then it's just all the minor details. So far we're looking pretty good. Once I UV unwrap this, I'm going to edit, go into texture mode, we go into object mode. Just have a quick look around. You can see where we're going to have problems with our smoothing. There's going to be issues there, but I don't think by the time you colour it, I don't think people are going to notice it. But so far everything's coming along good. We're going to have to make them doors separate as well, so that's how simple it is. But for now, I've almost made 2 hours up, but I think I'd be better off cutting these windows in further by myself, just so I don't bore you with it. Do a few little minor details that all you know, like all I've been doing is the same keystrokes on the keypad all the time, so it's not going to really be something that you'd be interested in. But the next thing is definitely UV mapping, so that's going to be something that's very worthwhile. Going to be doing a lot of scaling, checking over the model as well, making sure things have cut correctly, because sometimes if you don't mark the seam correctly, you can run into a whole heap of problems. For now, keep in mind, tell me what that pipe is. Guess what that pipe is. I'll give you the free copy of the model. If you've got any questions on what I've been doing, if you do have any questions about what I've been doing, feel free to ask me. got plenty of time on my hands now. Still got a lot more to go on this model as well, as you can see. Probably have to make up windows as well. I think we're going to fudge a few of these things as well. Make it look as if we've done a lot more than what we've done. Going to be a lot of details here that we're not going to put into it. We're going to actually put into, how do you say, we're going to put a lot of our detail into the bump map. So that's what we're going to do. Going over into, that's right, I've actually found out the times now. So 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on daylight savings is going to be 2300. So I've got to remake all my posters and stuff for that as well. I'll keep reminding myself. So that's where we're up to. But for now, I'm going to get off early because I've got to go and do something. I'm only like going to be 8 minutes short of our 2-hour show, so got to go out and water the lawn. We're doing a lawn restoration here at the moment, so it should be really good. I'm going to make a video about that. But for now, I'm going to take off and get into it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe or have a comment. Ask me some questions. You'll find me on the socials if I'm going to be late. I'll probably see you out on the railway soon. There's going to be definitely looking into making a meeting soon with the Virtual Railway Consortium. There's a lot of things going on at the moment, so I think it'd be good to let everyone know what's going on. Not within the Virtual Railway Consortium, but people coming to the actual Railway Consortium. There's a few people that are really interested in the railways now after Drax made his episodes, so keep them all hyped up and have a bit of fun, meet new people out on the railway, and it's going to be good fun. So anyway, thanks for watching now, and I'm just dribbling, so we'll catch you 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time next Monday, or 2300 SLT Sunday. So we'll see you then.